Hopefully this is going to be a little bit better. We're going to see what happens here with the stream. I changed our buy rate a bit and trying to keep up with the YouTube standards of what they have. Looks like our stream health is a lot better. I hope this is going to be a little bit better for everybody. Welcome back. Sorry about that slight delay. So hopefully this will make things a lot easier. I hope you guys are seeing things smoothly. So we'll go back to what I was showing you. I was telling you yesterday, we had 73-degree weather, and then this guy showed up. And this is thank you. This is what we had right off the bat. We had this guy show up, and then a couple minutes later, this guy showed up. And if you notice, things start turning a little bit more ominous looking. Then, about 15 minutes later, that turned into this, which turned into that. Ugly, ugly, ugliness. And as I was trying to tell you earlier, on the other side of the state, we have icy conditions to the point where they are closing churches down for tomorrow's service, which I found to be really interesting. So, someone's screwing with the weather. I don't know why. It seems to be that something serious is going on. And of course, as you probably know, if you keep up with the news and whatnot, we have found out that the Earth is 10 degrees off of its axis, thanks to a lot of the earthquakes that we've been having. And this could account for some of the bizarre weather. This could account for a lot of different things. That's what they're telling us. So they're saying, okay, 10%. Maybe that we are doing a polar shift. I have no idea. Is this a Mandela effect? It absolutely can be, but I'll tell you what, it's strange. What's going on with our planet, what's going on with our weather, it's absolutely strange. Not going to lie to you, I'm not liking it. It's concerning to me. You think about what's really happening. I mean, if our planet is off tilt, if our sun is dying, I mean, there seems to be like a lot of really crazy things happening all at once. Again, aside from robots walking and AI becoming smarter than you and I and everybody else put together, and to become our masters one day. I mean, it seems like we've got a lot of crazy things just happening. I'll be honest with you, folks. I don't know really what to think about that. I really, really, really don't. I hope you guys got a chance to see the pictures from China. Those are pretty cool. And that damn stream, it's always driving me nuts. Trying to make things as good as it possibly can for you guys, but sometimes that technology likes to fight with me. So I'm going to show you guys China one more time. And it does sort of look like two pictures sort of conjoined together. It looks really strange, but again, this is also strange. This proverbial line in the sand, the texture of the land is it's crazy. Again, this is in China. And, some of the striations and whatnot, they follow through across this line in the sand, but I am curious to know as to what that line in the sand is. That is a curious thing. So, let's see, we covered the weather. Oh, yeah, the banking. That was the other thing I wanted to talk to you about. Wanted to touch base with you about this because it sort of falls in line with everything that we've been talking about. And I started thinking of different ways to sort of try to advise you to protect yourself against some of this stuff because, to be honest with you, a lot of things are happening unless you're really honestly paying attention to it. And you honestly care about these things. Whoops, sorry about that. I thought I was on the other page. Sorry about that, King. But in case, you are, wondering, how to protect yourself, how to hedge against some of this that's coming our way. And I'll be honest with you, it comes down to thinking like wealthy people. people who have wealth. So what's going on? We talked the other day about the whole idea of demonic soup and the idea that corporations are putting chips into people's hands, and that's the only way that they are really able to buy and purchase things from this store called 32 Market, or Market 32, something along that lines. Well, I saw a report the other day that Amazon is coming out with their own supermarkets, and these supermarkets are going to be facial recognition and fingerprint supermarkets where you simply walk in and there's basically a caretaker and a security/safety person there, and that's it. Two people in the entire store, and you walk in, the computer recognizes that it's you, and you grab what you want off of the shelves, and then you walk on out. So cash is not involved with the transaction. That's, a lot of people are thinking, well, that's convenient. That's a good thing. Mr. Skeptic, that's a positive thing, right? We don't have cash; it's more secure. And I just started really thinking about it, because when people start selling me on something, that means that they want to get something out of the deal too. If somebody's selling me hardcore on something, that means they want something out of the deal. And the idea that these corporations are pushing our society to go cashless is a concern, because without having something to grasp onto, something to hold on to, something that's yours, right? I mean, it's real easy for you to get, in my opinion, to lose your things, to lose your identity, to lose who you are, and have absolutely no recourse and no cushion. So we get to this point of convergence where we are no longer a cash society, and an EM pulse hits and wipes out or worse, a virus or whatever. I mean, you name the poison that can happen. Hell, I remember Y2K. Who in the room remembers Y2K? I remember Y2K all too well. And the fact of the matter is that, what do you want? What are you going to do if your ID is erased and we are a cashless society? How do you eat? How do you feed your children? How do you take care of your family? How do you take care of your responsibilities? How do you keep the roof over your head? What if it's an extended period of time? Who remembers the blackout? Remember the massive blackout in the Northeast? That was an interesting time. I mean, I remember having to go 60 miles just to get to wait in line to get gasoline. And that was one event. That was us overloading the grid. And I think that happened in 2005, 2006, somewhere in that neighborhood. So, I mean, things can happen in the modern era. And it was a strange time when that blackout happened. It was a weird time. We didn't know if the power was going to come back on or what. And imagine something like that happening, but instead this time it's your identification, your id, your cloud personality. What are you going to do if you have nothing substantial that you could trade or barter with? You're screwed. You're going hungry at that point. There is no hope for you. That to me is one of the biggest things that has me concerned, because we are becoming so technology dependent, so technology based, that without our technology, we're almost crippled. I mean, without my phone, I'll be straightforward with you. I am borderline retarded, and I say that in the classical and in the traditional way and meaning. I mean, without my phone, without having Google right there to be my extra brain, to be my cyborg partner in crime, make me actually look smart. I mean, without having that resource in my hand, I am almost crippled. And that bothers me. It bothers me to think that I'm that weak at that particular point. So, I've been working on fixing that and changing that in my own personal daily life and making sure that I do have things like cash around, making sure that I reward fellow people, local businesses, small businesses, moms and pops, try to help keep them in business and keep them afloat because they're going to be one of the frontline defenses against this huge churn of us losing our money. Now, is this a Mandela effect? Everything at this point is a Mandela effect, isn't it? I mean, if we made the quantum shift, we made the quantum shift, and I'm telling you, things are going weird in this reality. And the fact of, turning over my id, my digital ID, my digital thumbprint, and that is in essence me now. And without that, I could potentially not, if it's up to Amazon, no cash, no ticky, no washi, no food for you, right? And if their screens go blank, don't get me wrong, their stores aren't even going to be open. So there are things to really look about. Think about it, especially when you're spending your money and who you're spending your money with and how you're spending your money and who you're doing your banking with and who you trust with your finances. Because to be honest with you, think about what you're doing. You're taking your money to some rich guy's store and he's basically housing it for you and turning it around and loaning out basically your money, which is what's happening in theory, but technically he's, as David Icke would say, he's just punching a couple numbers into a computer and that's it. Nothing has changed. No money has changed hands. No gold has been taken out of the treasury and put into your name. As far, it was really a scam of inservitude. And as we're becoming more and more technology dependent, it's really important for us to think about this rationally and as humans, because to be honest with you, if we don't really start considering what the consequences are to some of our actions, especially when it comes to things like making purchases, a lot of times we go for that easy buck. And the easy buck is not necessarily, or the less buck, is not necessarily the healthiest thing that you could do for your neighborhood, your community, your city, your state, whatever. The fact is that if you look around, you'll see that there are CVS's on every corner and Walgreens right next to them, and it's the same characters showing up in every single town. And they are slowly, and I say slowly with air quotes because, this is starting to move exponentially, which means that they are moving at a slow pace now, but they're starting to pick up speed. And before you know it, this is going to be lickety split. It's funny, I was looking, excuse me, looking online regarding this subject. And I found something really interesting, and it was why killing cash makes sense. I'm going to show this to you real quick. And there it is. The argument is that, there's that money is not safe, and that it's much easier for you to use your hand or to use a chip or use a card. And here's the thing, and it says it right here in this article: cash is an untraceable means of exchange that enables a vast criminal economy. This is how they're framing this, okay? So basically, what you're doing by eliminating cash is inviting Big Brother into your house, and what he gets to do is he gets to watch your every single move. You want to give your grandchild $10 for their birthday? That eye in the sky is going to know. You want to give your cousin, $20 for helping you move the fridge? That eye in the sky is going to know. Nothing is going to be sacred. Nothing is going to be yours. Your privacy is going out the friggin' window. And what are they doing? They're putting it under the guise of convenience. And if you disagree with them, you're obviously part of the vast criminal network that they claim that you are, which is just a bunch of garbage. What this is rich people wanting complete and total control over you, which means complete and control over your life, whether you live or die eventually. And don't think for one moment that that's not what we're talking about here. And don't think for one moment that there aren't people, individuals behind this, that they've got the world duped. You ever go pump your gas at a gas station, give the clerk $20 cash, and wonder why at the end of your pumping the gas into your car, why the pump slows down? Well, that's a psychological hit. What they're trying to do is tell you, hey, listen, by using cash, you have to go into the store, you have to pay the clerk, and then you have to come out, and then the pump is slow. But if you're using credit, man, if you put in $20, man, it will go right up to 20. Boom, stop on a dime and get 9 cents change, right? You and I both know this, right? So it's a conditioning. You start asking yourself, well, why does the gas station care if I use credit or cash? I'll tell you why, friend. The reason is simple. The bank owns the gas station. Who do you think owns BP? The same guy that owns Bank of America, right? I mean, that is the fundamental reason why your pump moves slow. Do you honestly think that the guy who owns the gas station, the franchisor, or I'm sorry, the franchisee, that he wants to accept a form of payment which is going to be a less than what he's actually charging, because he has to pay a fee for that machine, and every swipe he has to pay a fee? You know, I mean, the guy who gets fat is the guy who's at the end of the line, who's the banker. You know, and we all pay him. We pay a fee to pump the gas. The guy in the gas station pays a fee to have the reader and pays a fee to actually have the transaction. And you don't think that he's going to want to actually accept cash? Of course he's going to want to accept cash, for the very reason you know he's going to want to accept cash. But you know what? That pump, if he puts in cash price, guess what? It doesn't matter if it's 110 degrees out or it's 25 degrees below zero. 50 cents below the total amount that you want to put into your tank, man, that pump slows down and will come to a crawl. So it pumps just that last drop of gas into your tank. I'll tell you what, it's a scam, folks. It's a scam, friends. I want you to understand that. What they're doing is they are perpetrating a crime. They are scamming us. They are trying to conceal what their intent is, but the fact of the matter is, what they're doing is rotten. And it is confusing people into making them billionaires and trillionaires, and the rest of us have to suck the pipe. We have to take what they give us, and that is what it is. There is no other option for us. So we, as the consumer, need to figure out a way to start fighting back, to start doing things in a way that will help us achieve our goals and not some rich folk. Let me tell you, it is an honor to count you amongst the beliefs of what we do here at the Paranoid Skeptic. Thank you. If you like our work here at the Paranoid Skeptic, do me a favor, check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/Paranoid Skeptic. If this content resonates with you, please subscribe. If you believe in this video, share it. If you want alerts for when new videos are released, hit the alert bell and give this video a thumbs up. Feel free to leave your own theories on today's video in the comments below. More communication on this subject and other important phenomena will be forthcoming in future videos. End communication.